In the pantheon of animated characters, you've got your good guys, your bad guys. And then you have the characters who are just profoundly, catastrophically thirsty. Today we settle one of animation's great debates. Who has absolutely no chill? Is it the fetish-fueled heiress from the world of espionage, or the pervy old master from the Dragon Ball saga? Today we're settling it. We've brought together 7 of animation's most shamelessly thirsty characters and put them under the microscope to finally crown the undisputed king or queen of cartoon horniness. This is the ultimate No-Chill Showdown. Let the showdown begin. Number 7. Jeff Fischer from American Dad. Kicking off our list at number 7 is Haley's beanie-wearing husband, Jeff Fischer. The diagnosis? Now, Jeff isn't thirsty in the way you might think. For the most part, he's the epitome of chill. But he suffers from a very specific condition: hyperactive libido syndrome. When Jeff is separated from his weed, his chill evaporates, and a frantic, desperate, and uncontrollable horny mess emerges. Exhibit A. In the episode The People vs. Martin Sugar, Francine tells Jeff that if he wants to move in with them, he can't smoke weed. Jeff and Haley protest, saying he needs it for a condition, but Fran tells them she'd love to smoke weed herself, but this is Stan's rule. Jeff chooses to comply. Francine then repeatedly walks in on him sorting himself out, in the bathroom, even in the pantry with all their food, after Jeff notices the maple syrup lady looks like an American singer, Ashanti. He explains how he can't control himself when the urge is hit. Ultimately, it becomes such an issue, Francine caves and lets Jeff smoke weed again, saying this is better than the alternative. The verdict? Jeff lands at number 7 on our list because while he can't control himself, his lack of chill is situational and at least medicated. It's a temporary madness that makes him the least shameless of our bunch. He is uncontrollably thirsty, but only on rare, sober occasions. Number 6. Herbert from Family Guy. At number 6, we visit a character whose thirst isn't broad, but a very specific, deeply unsettling fixation. John Herbert from Family Guy. The diagnosis? Herbert suffers from what can only be called creepy neighbor cravings. His entire existence revolves around his shameless and thinly veiled crush on the big, strong paperboy Chris Griffin. His lack of chill comes from the sheer, unwavering creepiness of his advances, delivered in a soft, wheezing voice that sends shivers down your spine. Exhibit A? Honestly, where do we even start with him? Herbert has earned his name Herbert the Pervert. In countless episodes, he hangs around the Griffin house, offering Chris popsicles, complimenting him on how strong he is, and inviting him to come over to his basement. We've seen him peeking in windows at Chris, watching him get changed, praying to God to let him smell Chris's hat, and even getting upset when Chris, blissfully unaware, turns down his advances. Exhibit B. Although it is mostly Chris Herbert is focused on, there are countless references to him liking young boys in general, such as when he says things like, "We can handle this like reasonable and sexy teenagers. Whoever swallows the most Tylenol PM wins." Another episode, Herbert ushers a group of young altar boys into the back of his van with a smile on his face after Jesus returns and sets the church on fire. He's frequently seen talking to young boys, complimenting their appearance, inviting them over, offering them snacks and wine. In one episode, he even wanted to rent out an ice cream truck that played the music all the kids like. The verdicts? Herbert is a one-track mind kind of character, and that track is a deeply uncomfortable one. While his pursuits are contained to his fixation on young boys, particularly Chris, the unadulterated creepiness of his unwavering desire earns him a solid spot on this list. But he ultimately comes in at number 6 on our list because he probably can't do much about it, even if he had a chance. Number 5. Bender from Futurama. Blasting into number 5 is a bending unit programmed for many things, but a sense of shame is not one of them. Bender Bending Rodriguez from Futurama. The diagnosis? Bender's horniness is a rampage of robotic transactional desire. His mantra might be "bite my shiny metal ass," but he's just as interested in chasing some. His personality is very much misogynistic, he's a frequent visitor to robot strip clubs, has an affinity for hookerbots, and makes his intentions known with absolutely zero subtlety. Exhibit A? One great example of Bender's womanizing is his whirlwind romance with the Planet Express ship in Love and Rocket. At first arguing with the spaceship, Professor Farnsworth changes the ship's voice to a woman's.
Oh, Fry, is Bender home?
No, I think he's at his parents'.
Oh, I see.
Bender goes from arguing to smitten almost immediately. The romance starts and ends quickly. Initially, the ship and Bender being caught in compromising positions, which violated workplace rules, quickly turns to picnicking together, Bender being jealous when others watch her, and even singing to her and dancing together late at night. When Bender decides he's over the ship, he doesn't even break up with her. He tells Leela and Fry that he's bored of her and will just go back to dating cheap bluesies on the side. The ship, understandably, does not take this well. Exhibit B, throughout the seasons, Bender is shown to not be too fussy when it comes to dating. He's dated petite fembots, larger fembots, robot strippers, refrigerators, humans, human heads, a spaceship, as previously mentioned, and even in one episode he had an affair with the wife of the head of the robot mafia, Dawnbot, which nearly cost him his life. He's even dated a male robot, Calculon, and ended up engaged to be married. This happened after Bender got gender reassignment surgery so he could keep the 5 gold medals he just won in the Olympics after competing as a fembot. The verdict? Bender's horniness is a core part of his programming, but it's also diluted by his many other vices. His love of booze, cigars, and crime, making his thirsty pursuits just one more flavor of his overall lack of chill, and landing him squarely at number 5. Number 4. Angel Dust from Hazbin Hotel. At number 4, we descend into hell to meet a character literally born to be shameless, Angel Dust from Hazbin Hotel. The diagnosis? Angel Dust's condition is performative sensuality. As one of the first patrons of the Hazbin Hotel, his entire persona is built on flirtation, innuendo, and straight-up over-the-top thirst. His default mode of communication is flirty banter and dropping spicy one-liners. Exhibit A, our first introduction to Angel Dust is in Hell, where we find out he's an adult film star. When Alistair first meets Angel, he asks, "What can you do, my effeminate fellow?" To which Angel gives an overtly sexual answer that we cannot repeat here. The Princess of Hell, Charlie Morningstar, is trying to advertise her new hotel, and he offers his services, saying, "I'll have the horniest sinners knocking these walls down to get in." When Charlie politely declines, saying she wouldn't want to exploit Angel, he bends backwards seductively, saying, "Oh please baby, this body was made to be exploited," then proceeds to pose in seductive ways, going into all kinds of detail as to how he can be exploited. When ultimately he does end up shooting the commercial, Baggy, who's holding the camera, cuts the scene and asks him to be less horny if possible. Exhibit B, in Angel Dust's song Poison that he's forced to do by his manager Valentino. The lyrics talk of being available in every which way someone wants him, being tied up and used. We see him drinking, partying, and snorting white powder. We see a seductive look in his eyes and body language to match, as if he genuinely enjoys the control his sex appeal gives him. But we also see moments of sadness on his face in these moments. The verdict? Angel Dust is certainly thirsty, but it often feels almost for show. He's constantly in your face with his provocative language and sensual body language, but it's tempered with moments of genuine vulnerability and a want for something deeper. He's a demon with absolutely no filter, but there's a surprising amount of heart underneath all that fluff, which is why he's close to the top, but just out of reach of our top 3. Before we hit the top 3, take a guess in the comments who they might be and smash that like and subscribe button. It helps us more than you know. Number 3, Master Roshi from Dragon Ball. Our number 3 spot goes to a legend who was teaching the world about thirst long before most others on this list were even conceived. Master Roshi from Dragon Ball. The diagnosis? Master Roshi is the classic perverted old man archetype. On one hand, he's a wise, incredibly powerful martial arts master. On the other, he's a shameless, lecherous old man whose quest for knowledge is often overshadowed by his quest for a peek at some panties or a woman undressing. His thirst is almost a reflex. The sight of a pretty woman is enough to trigger a spectacular fountain-like nosebleed. Exhibit A? In the original series, when Goku is around 12, Roshi agrees to let him train under him only if he can find him a beautiful girl. He then goes into details, saying she needs to have nice skin, not be too young but not too old, and be funny too. Goku agrees and flies off looking for a girl before bringing back a very large woman with a deep voice. Roshi then begins Lesson 1 with Goku in what pretty looks like and tells him to try again. Next, Goku brings back an attractive young mermaid. Roshi instantly gets a nosebleed from excitement, then gets way too handsy, way too quickly, and she hits him before running away. Exhibit B. During the World Martial Arts tournaments, he's frequently distracted by female contestants. At the start of the tournament, Roshi grabs a young woman and asks the announcer if he can be put in the ring with her. After Krillin wins his first fight in the tournament, he's looking around for Master Roshi, only to be told he's looking at girls somewhere. After Roshi wins the tournament, he pictures how he will spend his prize money. He sees himself surrounded by multiple women in skimpy lingerie. His dreams are filled with harem chaos, and his attempts to grope the female characters is an ongoing joke throughout the series. The verdict? Roshi's perversions are a major part of his personality, but his duties as a martial arts master curb his impulses from time to time. However, no matter how much of a leash that keeps him on, you can't think Master Roshi without thinking horn dog, which is how he comes in as our bronze medalist in our countdown. Number 2. Carol/Cheryl Tunt from Archer. Our runner-up is a character who doesn't just have no chill, she actively incinerates it with a gleeful, maniacal laugh. It's Carol Tunt from Archer. Or is it Cheryl? Or Charlene? She keeps changing it, so who knows? The diagnosis? Carol's condition is the queen of kink. Her thirst is not run-of-the-mill desire. It's an often dangerous cocktail of bizarre fetishes and psychological instability. She gets turned on by the real possibility of being hurt or killed, has an intense choking fetish, and actively seeks out abusive relationships. She doesn't just enjoy others crossing boundaries, she loves to obliterate them herself. Exhibit A, her choking fetish is a recurring theme. When Dr. Krieger makes a choke bot, the first thing Cheryl does is put it around her neck. She asks if he thinks it's safe, and when he pauses, then says no, she smiles. In another scene, she's laying on the desk with co-workers Lana and Pam rating the men in the office as to who they would marry and who they would kill. Carol then pipes up saying how hot it would be to have a big sweaty fireman carry her out of a building, and instead of giving her mouth-to-mouth, he begins to choke her. She's so turned on by describing it, in more detail than we can go into here, she then asks Pam to choke her a little bit. Exhibit B, Carol, time and time again, is turned on by the most random things. Archer once slapped her to stop her yelling at him after an explosion. When a coworker Rodney says, "That was not cool," Carol tells him to mind his own business and asks Archer to slap her again. When Archer says how creepy it is that she's turned on by physical violence, she replies, "Also emotional violence." This is also seen when she says being murdered is hot because it's so intimate. She also gets super excited when kidnappers come, jumping up and down, clapping, "It's a kidnapping! Kidnap me!" Another time when being detained by terrorists, she tells Pam, "I'm so turned on, I think I'm actually getting dehydrated." Wow. Just wow. The verdict? Cheryl Tunt is a true wild card. A character whose desires are as bizarre as they are intense, earning her the silver medal of shameless thirst. And now the moment of truth. The character who stands alone at the pinnacle of perversion, the absolute, undisputed, heavyweight champion of thirst, Glenn Quagmire from Family Guy. The diagnosis? For many, he's the undisputed king of cartoon horniness. His life is a non-stop, giggity-fueled quest for the next conquest. His moral compass is, to put it mildly, broken, and his sense of shame is non-existent. He sees every woman as a potential partner, and his standards are famously shockingly low. Exhibit A? Quagmire's list of shameless acts is a mile long. But let's jump right into Quagfest, a block party that Quagmire arranges, inviting the whole street to celebrate his 1,000th conquest. There's food stalls, rides, and even a simulator of what it's like to sleep with Quagmire. The simulation starts at a bar where Quagmire offers you a drink, then everything goes black, and you wake up with blurred vision in the back of a taxi. Yikes. The festival continues with Quagmire on stage introducing conquest number 1, Quagmire's elementary school teacher, Miss Eleanor, now an elderly woman. After kissing her on stage, Quagmire then introduces number 1000, a large-mouthed bass. Yeah, a fish. At which point he says, "Yeah, that's right, I'm weird." Exhibit B? Over the many seasons of Family Guy, Quagmire has been caught and admitted to countless deviant acts, mostly unethical and many crossing the line to straight up illegal. One time, Peter crashes Quagmire's car, the trunk pops open, and 4 Asian women in their underwear jump out and run away. Peter then backs into Quagmire's garage, breaking the door, and even more women in their underwear run free. At one point, Quagmire's private life gets so messy, he hires Chris to be his secretary to help organize the women he dates and book them in for their next visit. Another time, Quagmire turns down an invitation out because there's a girl tied up in his basement that needs food. Another time, when Quagmire visits a school, there's a child in every room that looks just like him and call him daddy. Another time, Peter and the family visit Quagmire's holiday home. Peter sits on the couch and Lois flicks what she thinks are the lights. Immediately, Peter is sprayed with a gas that knocks him out, robot arms remove his clothes, and he's placed in a compromising position. Another time, Quagmire discovers internet porn. He disappears for days before emerging looking disheveled, unshaven, and one arm being significantly more muscular than the other. The list goes on. It really does. We could be here all day listing Quagmire's sexual deviancy. The verdict? While others are simply thirsty, Quagmire is a creature of such profound and boundless horniness that he transcends the very concept of shame. His desire isn't just a personality trait. It's a force of nature, a vortex that consumes everything. No other character in animation has had their shamelessness explored in such relentless, horrifying, and hilarious detail for over 2 decades. He is the beginning, the middle, and the end of the conversation. He is the hard gold medalist for this countdown, with no one even coming near him. Giggity giggity goo. So there you have it, the definitive ranking of animation's most shameless characters. From the sober slip-ups of Jeff Fischer to the cosmic void of shame in Glenn Quagmire's head. But what do you think? Did we get our number 1 right? Who would you crown as the ultimate cartoon character with no chill? Drop your own rankings in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this celebration of shamelessness, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more breakdowns. Thanks for watching.